Everybody's talking about it. It's the Aaron Rodgers Bowl, Sunday Night Football, Packers and the Steelers. I've got a full betting breakdown for you, and I've got the winning side to play. Let's get dirty. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the show, and if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the jungle. I've got a full breakdown in the Aaron Rodgers Bowl for you, along with a winning side, the best side to play, the side that Jungle members and I have already played. No $5 favorite play of the day, because this is the only game that I'm betting in this game. But I am going to leave for you a link in the comments section to become a Jungle member. As a member, you get my full betting card sent to your phone every single morning, access to our members-only Discord, and a direct line to me if you'd like me to opine on any other bet that you're considering placing. We have a free weekly trial. Take it for a test spin and see if it's for you. Today's video is brought to you by Outlier.bet, the top name in sports betting research, and by Red Lobster, the favorite seafood restaurant of screen icon Jon Voight. All right, let's cap this game together. So the line opened up at Green Bay minus 3.5, and the public bet it down to Green Bay minus 2.5, below the key number of 3. And I say 3 is a key number in sports betting. If you don't know this, if you do, forgive me while explaining it to our new bettors. But 3 is a key number because at 3.5, if a team wins by a field goal and you're minus 3.5, you lose. At 3, you would push. At minus 2.5, you would win. So the public came in, money came in on the Steelers, and it moved the line from minus 3.5 to minus 2.5. The books think the line should be 3.5, so they're doing the Packers bettors a favor here. Now, why did the public do that? Well, they did it because they think it's the Aaron Rodgers revenge game, and because he wants to beat the Packers, he'll just be able to do so. That's a mistake, and we'll get to that throughout the duration of this video. The storyline, of course, is Aaron Rodgers taking on his former team. The Packers cut ties with him in order to start Jordan Love's career as a starting quarterback. Let's compare the two quarterbacks and their teams and how they've done this season. Aaron Rodgers has led the Steelers to a 4-2 record, and he's got a passer rating of 105, which is good. It's 10th in the NFL. Jordan Love has led the Packers to a 4-1-1 record. He's got a passer rating of 108.1, which is 7th in the NFL. So both quarterbacks having good seasons statistically. Let's examine the Steelers' wins and losses and dive deep into this team. Pittsburgh beat the Jets 34-32, and we'll come back to that game in just a little bit. They beat Cleveland, they beat the Vikings overseas, and the Vikings have turned out to be a bad team. And they beat New England 21-14. New England's a very good team, but the thing about that New England game is that Pittsburgh won the turnover battle in that game 5-1. And they only won by 7 points. You can't handicap for turnovers. Ordinarily, with that type of turnover differential, a team would win by more than 7 points. So that really doesn't tell the story and the tale of how those two teams are. New England actually outgained Pittsburgh in that game, 369 yards to just 203. They had 26 first downs, and Pittsburgh had just 17. And I said we're going to go back to the Jets game. Well, the Jets have a historically bad offense. They scored 32 points on the Steelers team. Pittsburgh allowed 394 yards to that anemic Justin Fields-led Jets offense. The Steelers' losses were to Cincinnati and to Seattle, and they got waxed by Seattle at home, where this game is. The Packers are a much better football team than anyone that the Steelers have played, and they're a much better football team than the Steelers. Pittsburgh has a lot of problems. They've got a lot of holes. First of all, they can't run the football. 25th in rushing yards. They run for just 94.5 yards a game. They have a hard time converting first downs too. They're 23rd in third down conversions. And defensively, this is one of the worst Steelers teams that we've seen in probably decades. They're 31st out of 32 teams against the pass, which is the strength of the Green Bay Packers offense. Pittsburgh's also 31 of 32 teams in first downs allowed per game. The Green Bay Packers are a solid team on almost every front. They're 7th in scoring. They're 1st in the NFL offensively in third down conversion percentage and 4th defensively in allowing third downs. They're 2nd defensively against the run. They're 1st in the NFL in yards per play allowed. The Packers allowed just 4.4 yards per play to the opposition. Best in the league. The Steelers allow a full yard more than that per play. What Green Bay also does very well is get to the quarterback. Green Bay is third in quarterback hits. They hit the opposing quarterback 8.7 times a game. Not good for an older Aaron Rodgers, and the Steelers' offensive line doesn't do a great job of protecting him. Rodgers is 22nd in the NFL in quarterback hurries. So that offensive line isn't really solid enough to protect him against that Green Bay pass rush. No matter which way this game goes, if it's an aerial shootout or it's a grinded out defensive game on the ground in a battle for field position, I'm confident the Packers will be able to cover the spread, win this game, and cover the spread. The public did us a favor by taking the Steelers and banging that line down just because they think that Aaron Rodgers will win because it's his revenge against his old team. But that revenge storyline is a tired factor in sports betting and one that you should never use when handicapping a game or use it for a reason to wager. Take the Packers minus the 2.5, and I'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.